Hey y'all, it's NeceyDixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, y'all, welcome back. Okay, so big question. We are going to get into Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 3, Jiminy Crickets. And question for y'all who are watching this on the live, question for y'all who are watching this on playback. I've really gotten into liking these lives. It makes it much easier to review the shows, but the way Real Housewives of Potomac is set up, I go to sleep on Sunday nights. But what I used to review, whatever used blah, 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 reset. What I used to do when I was reviewing the show, I used to record my review that night and then post the video by the morning. So y'all tell me, comment below, do you want the reviews pre-recorded in the morning, or do you want to talk about the episode on live? Let me know. Thank y'all for joining the live. I see Latrissa was in the comments already talking about them tissues for Candace. Simply Miss T, hey girl. Carla Jr., what's up? Hey Alicia, CC Freak, good evening. Bertha Young and Carolyn Jackson, what's up y'all? Y'all tell me what y'all thought about the episode, but better yet, y'all tell me, do y'all just want to wait until the next day? Y'all want to live so we can kiki, or y'all want to pre-record it? Okay. So, I see what a bunch of people are saying. What's up, Quinn? CC Freak says live. Tashara says live. Monique King says live whenever you can. Cause y'all, sometimes I be in the mood to go live like right after the episode, but your girl be sleeping. I have to take a day off, especially because y'all know on Sundays I do hashtag brunch at Necey's, where I review 3 whole shows. So I'm not going live morning and night on Sunday. That's against the rules. Okay, so I hope y'all like my thumbnail. The thumbnail was very cute, y'all. I think it was cute. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think I did a little something, and I was really stuck because at first I was like, I'm gonna make a thumbnail with Wendy arguing with Mia. But y'all know what? That read was so damn embarrassing, like Jamie says. That read was so damn tired. I was like, nah, you know who deserves this thumbnail feature? Is Candace and this folded tissue and Miss Karen. So yeah, we definitely gonna get into that this episode. I think that it was okay. I see a couple of y'all, a bunch of y'all saying lives. That's what we gonna do then. But the episode was good. The episode was good. The Kleenex returns, like CC Freak says, Kleenex Candace. Now, I have to update y'all on where I stood last season. I'm not even gonna get into it real deep. But I was one of those people who was absolutely neutral. I like Candace. I like Monique. I thought Monique was a damn fool. I was definitely holding Monique accountable because if you wanted to fight somebody, you should have fought Gizelle. Okay, not your friend. And I'm not above anybody fighting, but it was just dumb to me how she came for her. Now, the reason why I'm saying I was neutral is because on the split side of things, I didn't like how Candace handled the situation after. I don't like this whole divide me or, nobody else, or, oh, I'm gonna put sticky notes on the mirror and all that other stuff. I guess she's beyond the sticky notes. Hey, sis, do what you got to do to heal. But I definitely think that Candace was definitely white womaning us. Y'all tell me what y'all think, okay? But I just wanted to go ahead and give y'all surface level what I thought about the season. Reason being is because we're going to get into it a little bit because Candace is still talking about it with Karen. All right, so y'all, the episode starts out and Robyn is laying in bed. Y'all, this is me, okay? I ain't gonna lie, because whenever the pandemic first happened, your girl got furloughed. I had just started a new job. I was on the job for probably like 2 weeks, got furloughed because of the pandemic, and I was in the bed like this every morning. And then I started making YouTube videos. And then I was like, I don't want to go back to work. But y'all know, gotta pay the bills. Anyway, yeah. So I felt Robyn on this. However, my thing is, you waking up your kids 3 minutes before class. Whenever I went to school, my mama had us in a routine. You wake up, You wash your face, you brush your teeth. We used to lay out our clothes the night before. Now I get that these kids ain't going nowhere, but ain't no way I'm waking no kid up to log on to class and you have not brushed your teeth yet. Don't do that. It's definitely a routine that the boys should be in. And I really don't know what Robyn is going through. It seems like her business is thriving. She starts selling more clothes and stuff like that. To me, I'm gonna be real. I understand like the whole pandemic funk, but it did look a little bit lazy. And I feel like you need to have those kids in a routine. The other thing I was wondering was what was Juan doing? Because Juan was at the house. And if the kids have to get up for school, why doesn't he make a way to be a part of that routine? I don't know. So that's what Robyn got going on in her side of the world. And then we see Karen and Ray, and they're talking to her LaDom customers. Last season, I had not seen LaDom anywhere, but what I have been hearing is that, you know, she's at all the major department stores, and I definitely want to smell the fragrance. So I think Karen is really doing her thing when it comes to the wigs, when it comes to the fragrances. And RPG Show has really nice hair. So even though it's a collaboration with the Wig Doctor and RPG Show, I ain't mad at you at all, Karen. Go ahead and get your coin. And I will say this proudly. I don't care what nobody say. Karen be lying, but Karen is my favorite. I don't care. Karen is my favorite. And I will tell y'all what I thought about Karen and the way she was moving with Candace. But yeah, we'll see. CC Freak says, I believe that LaDom is a Bloomingdale's exclusive. Okay, I guess so. All In says, why do they not have alarms? They are not 4 or 5 years old. My mom was already at work by the time we had to go to school, and I made sure we were all up and ready for the bus. Say it again. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, they're old enough to have an alarm. What are they, like 10 years old? They at least in the double digits are pretty close. My thing is, even if you don't have an alarm, brush your damn teeth before you hop on that computer. You talking about 3 minutes. Have a great day at school. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. What's up, Still She Rose? All right, y'all. So we're going to move on from that scene and get right into the mess, because this is where the mess starts. So Ashley, Messy Boots number 1, and Gizelle, Messy Boots number 2 decide to meet up. And Gizelle, girl, Gizelle has found a way to be so comfortable being the narrator of this group. It just does not make sense to me that she has the audacity to ask Ashley about Michael and say that she's nervous about Michael. We nervous about Jamal, even though y'all claim y'all not together. Karen, she was just checking on you last season. She was just nervous about Jamal, right, y'all? So I'm just like, come on. On one hand, Gizelle ain't never lied. I especially when I asked my friend who was about to pop, are you nervous that your husband is going to be cheating on you? That's something that she probably don't even need to be thinking right now. So for you to even offer to throw her a pamper party while also asking her about her cheating husband or allegedly cheating husband was kind of like, girl, I know you got to throw a certain number of parties on this show for your check, and I guess you just gonna make Ashley your party, but whatever. So yeah, she says, are we nervous about Michael? Ashley ends up saying, no, I'm not nervous about Michael because I feel like his relationship with Dean is, you know, driving him to be better. And I'm like, girl. Okay, what does Funky not even say all the time? The worst thing you can do is have a baby for a nigga, basically. In this case, for Michael. So I don't think that Dean has changed Michael's wants and needs that Ashley may not have, or wants and needs that he can't get from Ashley that he can get somewhere else. So I'm like, girl, whatever. But still, Gizelle, I wouldn't have asked my pregnant friend about that. If you like it, I love it. If that's what Ashley want to do, going on. So Ashley ends up telling Gizelle, you know, well, Mia ended up saying that you were just a pretty face. And this is in reference to the last episode. I watched the last episode. I did not get around to a review. I'm so sorry. Won't happen again. But she brings up how Mia said at the party, the first party, the titty party, oh, I just really feel like Gizelle has a good heart. She has a big heart. And then 2 seconds later, she's saying, well, now I have to question her character, which she said at the love party when Gizelle was not in attendance. So Ashley is gonna be the bone carrier, like she be bone carrying, and ends up saying, Mia said you just had a pretty face. So Gizelle says, I need Mia to find out how she really feels about me. And was it just me? But I was shocked that Gizelle took it the way she took it. Gizelle is not really pressed on Mia one way or another. When I feel like typically Gizelle bullies the new girl. So this would have been the perfect opportunity for Gizelle to light Mia's ass up, but she didn't do that. All she said was, I'm gonna need you to figure out how you feel about me. And I think that's because she knows that Mia is just trying to get in where she fit in. Mia has been introduced to the group by Karen, but that don't mean like you can't put yourself on an island and only make yourself available to Karen. Who are you going to shoot scenes with? So I'm just really surprised that Gizelle did not, take that opportunity to try to haze Mia into the group. Mia decided to take that role. I'm not Mia. Wendy decided to take that role for her. And I'm like, Mindy, yeah. I'm mixing up names. I said Mindy. That's my friend's name. And then I combined Mia and Wendy. But y'all, I'm like, Wendy, girl, she's doing too much for the sake of loyalty. Anyway, y'all, we'll move on to the next scene. Before Gizelle and Ashley end up leaving each other, Gizelle says, oh, I'm going to throw you a pampering party because you're our ray of sunshine. You reaching. Just say it's a pampering party and we can leave it at that, okay? Everybody's getting along with Ashley right now, but I wouldn't go as far as to call the woman the ray of sunshine. Like I told y'all, everybody has to throw a certain number of events. So whether it's something that doesn't make sense, like a love party or a ray of sunshine pampering party, they gonna party just so they can have enough scenes and enough events to get their check at the end of the season. So now, y'all, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to Robyn. So Robyn is in like a warehouse looking space and she's working on selling her hats. And then she has her friend Escala there. I was very confused. One thing, I think Escala is beautiful. I really don't know what to say about her, but I feel like y'all could have gave her a much better introduction because whenever I seen Escala in the warehouse holding all them boxes and stuff, I thought Escala worked for Robyn. Literally, it took me a minute to realize that Escala was just Robyn's friend. I don't think I realized that that wasn't her employer or employee until they got to the spa party. Was that just me? Y'all go ahead and let me know in the comments. They should have gave her a way better introduction. So Wendy ends up showing up, y'all. And this is where she mentions the home essentials. And I want to talk to y'all about that for a hot second because like I said, I didn't post a review for last week's episode. But Wendy, you are reaching. Wendy, you are reaching. Wendy went to Housewives boot camp in the off season. You listened to what everybody was saying, which was that we were tired of you talking about your 4 degrees and nothing else. However, I did not want you to go get the Housewives employee handbook and do everything step by step by step. So number one, for you, that meant getting your titties and your ass done, having a titty party that turned into a titty and ass party. And I'm just like, these housewives get titties, they get their ass done, and they even get little other areas, CLIT, done. And it's no big deal. So I'm like, ugh. But like I said, it ties back to events. But Wendy, I want you to come as yourself. I feel like you're not being yourself. I feel like even the way that you moved this entire episode down to the reads that you were trying to give is all a part of marketing and branding. Like you keep calling yourself Zen Win. Who said that? Who came up with that? I feel like that is definitely something that will tie back to your home essentials line. There's going to be some sort of fragrance or I'm sure it's going to be a fragrance. It's probably going to be a Zen Win fragrance, candle, incense, or something like that. And what you're trying to do is brand. My thing is, I don't think that you have gathered the fan base to do that yet. So, go for it. I'm never knocking nobody who will come on this show and seize the opportunity to make more money. But I just would rather feel more compelled to buy something from you if you were being authentic. And I feel like you're just doing what you've seen in every other season and every other show. You are reaching And it's quite #embarrassing. Like Jamie be saying, I be cringing looking at Wendy during these scenes. Okay. Y'all killing me. Okay. CC Freak says, Askyla will replace Robyn, mark my words. I really do like Askyla. Amy J, she says, I want Katie back. I want Katie back too. I liked her crazy ass. I really did. Carla Jr. says, again with the hats, girl, who is buying them? I'm telling y'all, the PTA moms. Everything about those hats is giving me like PTA mom, the ladies in the neighborhood. It's very much giving me pyramid scheme. Like, here's 5 hats to start out. You go get your 3 best girls to sell hats under you. Like, that's the quality that the hats is giving me, down to the stars on Robyn's hat. I'm not really feeling it, but whatever. Tashara says, Wendy is definitely trying way too hard this season. And Still She Rose says, something about, I know she basically trying to say Wendy gave herself that nickname her damn self, because ain't nobody calling her Zen Wen. And Yolanda, I do not want Wendy's candle. I do not. Now, if Karen sold like a candle, then I will buy it. I'm also interested in smelling her fragrance, but that's because I feel like Karen is coming on the show and being herself. Wendy is doing everything that she saw somebody do before. And if you're not giving me your authentic self, then you're not going to get my authentic coin. But, you know, I hope her business does well. I'm just not interested because she's doing way too much. So while they're there talking with Askyla, we find out that Askyla is actually Robyn's friend. Didn't know that. And Robyn says, this is your African sister. Okay. All right. Whatever. So anyway, they're like, oh, where are you from? Where are you from? They both wearing heels in the warehouse or whatever. And, you know, eventually this conversation goes to Mia. They start talking about Mia and how Mia's a flip-flopper. And more than anything, I feel like Wendy is so fired up because, y'all, Wendy was definitely trying to keep her alliance with Gizelle and Robyn. However, your alliance was flawed because Gizelle and Robyn would have been close to you under the condition that you were not cool with Grand Dame. Robyn has an issue trying to understand where this closeness came from because it seems like y'all had some sort of an agreement that y'all weren't going to fuck with Karen. Or maybe that's the impression that you gave them. And that's another reason why I take issue with Wendy going so hard on Mia. Do I think Mia's a flip-flopper? Absolutely. But do I think that Mia is doing what plenty of girls do their first season, trying to get in where you fit in, not trying to isolate yourself? That's what she's doing. So Wendy, why are you so pressed when somebody's doing exactly what you did? Because if you think about it, just last season, Wendy, you didn't even know Monique, okay? Now, I thought Monique was wrong, but I've seen her plenty of seasons, okay? You didn't even know Monique for you to already write her off, but you decided what side of the sand or the line or whatever you wanted to be on, and that was the side with the girls who you thought carried the most weight. So now once you see Mia doing it and trying to keep her options open, you want to buck up and act like, you know, somebody's security. It's not cute, and I really would like for you to be yourself. Another thing that happens during this conversation at the warehouse, Robyn says to Askyla and Wendy that Karen drinks too much. And Askyla repeats it. And I'm like, ooh, really? One thing that they failed to mention, y'all, how does Askyla know Robyn? Let me know if I missed that, but I don't think I did. They never said how Askyla knows Robyn. She kind of just showed up. Like, what's the connection? Let's say it again, HFG. I didn't like the comment either. Ethiopia and Nigeria are nothing alike. Say it again. I feel like the comment was just ignorant. Like it just seemed real ignorant. I couldn't. So yeah, I can't deal. Let's move on. Y'all remember that Robyn mentions to Askyla that Karen drinks a lot. Now we go to Candace and we finally get a scene from Miss Dorothy. Now, y'all, I hate to say it, but this scene with Miss Dorothy kind of reminded me of the conversations I be having with my mama. So what happened was, let me get my notes. Yes. Okay. So Candace is telling her mom, Dorothy, that Karen has been invited to the house and they're going to have some tea and just have some drinks or whatever. And Miss Dorothy's like, okay, just be careful, which I think is what any mom would say. But moms end up being a little bit overbearing sometimes. Like when Candace had to say, "This is my life," I felt you on that. It'd be the most basic stuff. I'd be like, I'm not going to the grocery store tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go Friday. My mom would be like, "Oh, they about to shut down. You better go." This is my life, okay? I will find a way. I will find a way. Only difference is my mama don't pay my bills. So, I mean, maybe Candace is freed from the shackles of Dorothy, but I'm just saying my mama don't pay my bills. So anyway, her mom ends up telling her, like, be careful with Karen. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in more detail once we get to the sit down with Karen and Candace. I love me some Karen, but her mom, Dorothy's not wrong about not trusting Karen. So another thing that they talk about is Candace and her music and her acting career. And she tells her mom that Chris is her husbander, which is her husband and her manager. And her mom ends up saying, well, you might want to be careful with that because once you give your husband access to your money and he's your manager, he's going to make that his sole income. Now, Candace immediately says to her mom, I don't appreciate you insinuating that, he would do something shady with my money. But I think her mom is just looking out for you because if you think about that conversation that Candace had on the couch with Gizelle just last episode or either the first episode, Gizelle was trying to figure out what Chris was doing for money. And it seems like it's Candace. Now, do whatever you feel, but typically they don't work out well. Mary J. Blige, Tamar Braxton. I can't think of anybody else, but I'm sure there's plenty of people on and on and on that you can think of where that typically doesn't work well. My concern wasn't so much the money. While I think that Dorothy did have a good point, my concern is that Candace is going to drive Chris insane. Chris has an insane amount of patience. So much in Candace's personal life that I don't think that you should test it in your business life. I think that you should just go ahead, pay the coin, get a manager that's impartial, that wants to work for you, or not impartial, get a manager who doesn't really know you personally. But I just don't think don't test that man's patience. Candace, Chris is amazing. He's patient. He's kind with you. And I really don't want you to run that man off. Another thing I didn't get to talk to y'all about, the kids in the house. Y'all comment. Tell me if y'all think that the kids are strategically placed in the house because somebody was throwing shade. I think, was it this last reunion or the reunion before? Somebody was throwing shade trying to make it seem like Chris didn't take care of his kids. So yeah, y'all tell me if the kids are there for that or if they're actually there. So we'll move on to the next scene. So this next scene, we get Karen and Wendy in the woman cave. And this is where Wendy starts talking about Zen Win again. Zen Win. I am Zen Win. Nobody calls you that. I understand that if you repeat something so many times, it will be stuck in people's minds and you are trying to brand. So mark my words, Zen Win will be something a part of her brand. I'm not mad at it, but I just really wish that I couldn't tell that you were trying. And I feel like even people with the basics amount of brain level can tell that you are trying, Wendy. Gosh, I just feel so much disappointment, y'all, because I was so lit to have Wendy come on this show because I was feeling like, yes, not only is she a housewife, but she's Black girl magic. She got 4 degrees. She do this, that, and the third. Like she's actually smart. She has depth. But it's something going on with Wendy. I feel like similar to how Gizelle causes a lot of chaos to distract from her shit, Wendy is becoming this housewife figure to distract from her own shit as well. So I just really wish that, I said last season that I wish we knew more about Wendy besides her just having 4 degrees. But at this point in time, we still don't know more about Wendy besides her having the 4 degrees. She's just thinking that she's coming with more personality. In my opinion, it's tired. We done seen it all before. We done seen it before. Okay. So Wendy comes to Karen looking for mentorship. And it's funny because they played that clip from last season where Wendy was like, oh, Karen's just upset because I'm not coming to her looking for mentorship. And then look where you are. The alliances are weird this season, y'all. The friendships are very weird. It took me a hot second to even get used to Candace being on FaceTime with the ops. And if y'all are new to my channel, I call Robyn and Gizelle the ops, not the green-eyed bandits, because they always starting shit. But that alliance was just weird for me to even see. And now it's even more weird for me to see Wendy and Karen. But this is all in the sake of branding. Wendy is noticing how the ops move. And we're going to find out later on this season that her and Gizelle are actually going to get into it one-on-one because Gizelle's going to come for her ass. So I feel like Wendy's trying to move and make herself a little bit more neutral than what she did last season for the sake of branding. So yeah, last season, I thought she was okay. I wanted to give her another opportunity, but this season I'm kind of just like, you ain't giving us nothing new. If a scholar is coming to take anybody's job, first, we always say, oh, we think it's going to be Robyn. But if it's Wendy, I ain't going to be mad at it either because she's doing too much. So yeah, anyway, Karen gives her advice on her business. Her budget is $40,000 and Karen's telling her to double it. And like I'm saying, Karen, she got her business up off the ground. So I guess you should find mentorship in Karen. The friendship is just a little bit weird to me. Wendy claims that whenever you're two grown-ass women, you have things going on for yourself, then it's easy for you to squash things. And another thing I wanted to talk about, I think it's so funny because last season, don't y'all remember whenever they got into an argument, Wendy mentioned how Karen didn't have a degree, ain't went to school a day of her life or something like that. But it's funny how you with 4 degrees want to abandon, the jobs that pertain to that, you being a political commentator or being a professor and all that stuff, to be an entrepreneur that doesn't really require a degree. And now you have a newfound respect for business owners. 4 degrees? You have 4 degrees, Wendy. Why should you have to go to Karen for her to give you advice on your business? But okay, we done turned over a new stone this season. Let's go on, y'all. So we'll move on to Mia. We see Mia and she's at home talking to her husband, G. And she starts talking about her childhood and how she wants a better relationship with her mom. Her mom actually was on drugs, ended up giving her up for foster care. One second, y'all. I'm cooking and going live. Shout out to my air fryer. So anyway, Mia's mom actually was on drugs. I guess both of her parents, but she really talks more so about her mom. So I don't know where her dad is. When she was 6 years old or younger, and pretty much she's always had this odd relationship with her mom. She even talked about how one day for Christmas, she was waiting on her mom to come pick her up. And she laid down on the cold floor crying. And she said that's when she felt like she did not have a mom. And I was like, damn, but this is what I'm talking about. This is that depth that we're talking about. To be a housewife, I feel like you have to be beautiful. You have to have money. You got to have some type of a read, and you got to have some type of story. I was just watching Nikki Star on YouTube. Shout out to her. I love her channel. And she said, I feel like Mia could be that girl. And you know what? I feel like Mia has the potential to be that girl as well. I really do. But I need you to not be a flip-flopper, y'all. I still stand in that. That's not the way you come on a show. That's not the way you come on the show. One thing you never do when you come on the show is get in between some beef and try to be the mediator. Another thing you never do when you get on the show is come with some drama about one of the cast members who've been on the show for a long ass time. So I feel like as long as you have the credentials, you come on the show and you're 100% open to sharing everything, you'll be fine. So Mia, I need you to correct yourself on flip-flopping and trying to get in where you fit in. So yeah, I guess we'll be hearing more, seeing more of Mia and hopefully her mom this season. I know the previews for like the full season, they showed Mia and her mom having a conversation. All right, y'all. So next we are going to talk about Karen and Candace. This is what I really wanted to talk to y'all about this whole time, really. Y'all know my thumbnail right here. The tissues are back and it's folded perfectly. I feel like at this point in time, Candace, we're going to talk about you in them folded tissues. So I wonder, like, Did you ever think, should I not fold them? Should I make it seem a little bit more natural? But no, you still continue. You still continue to fold. It's like when you know you're on the verge of crying, you just, let me just, let me prepare for this. Let me prepare for this because you're telling me something that I don't want to hear. And I know that I'm not going to be able to handle it well. So let me go ahead and let me prepare for this. So while I do believe that Candace has been wronged in some way, I can't get with this. I can't get with this. So let's get right down to it. Karen shows up at Candace's house. She says the house is beautiful. They sit down and Karen goes, you know, I sense something different about you. I sense peace. And my thing, because I'm going to talk about both of them, okay? Karen, you're saying that you sense peace because you feel like Candace is going to forgive you and y'all will be back in a good spot. This is where I couldn't agree with Candace, not Candace. This is where I couldn't agree with Karen last season. Karen decided to side with Monique. One, because Green Eye Bandits, the ops, was going against her. Karen was not going to gang up on Monique. And for two, Karen was not going to be on the same side of things as the ops. So that's basically what I'm saying. Karen was friends with the two of them. She would have felt more comfortable upsetting Candace, knowing that her, you know, daughter figure or baby sis or whatever was going to get over it. And once Monique left the show, they would be cool again. So I think Karen just felt comfortable being neutral. When you honestly, I feel like, you know, Monique was wrong for that. But I also see why you decided to stay neutral, because it would have been worse for you and everybody to gang up on Monique. It would have been worse for you to side with the ops when you know that the ops had ill intentions greater than Candace. And to just put it blankly for y'all who don't understand, I feel like Robyn and Gizelle took the opportunity of the fight to punish Monique for just simply not liking her. I don't think that it had 100% to do with Candace. Candace was just the vessel, okay? And Karen saw through that, and for that reason, she didn't want to side with them. So I feel like you're not slick. You're not slick talking about, oh, I sense peace. You just think that it's going to be time for y'all to move on. So they end up talking. Candace says, you know, I want us to be in a better place, but I can't do that until you admit like what happened. And Karen ends up saying, well, I know you're uncomfortable. I know you were unhappy and sad. And Candace is sitting there like, yeah. And Karen says, but I don't regret my decision. And that's why I like Karen. I told y'all I really couldn't get with the way that she was moving, but she gonna stand by what she said. And now I can talk about Candace. Candace, move on, okay? You see how Karen moves. You see her for her ways. I don't know why you would have needed her to say to you verbally that she was wrong. I'm never extending or opening up a door for somebody to come apologize to me, because that automatically takes away some of the realness. Did you want to apologize or did you not? I'm not opening up that door for that. That's why Karen says, well, I would have reached out to you sooner, but you really didn't want to hear it and all that other stuff. I'm good on it. Peep how people move. You getting a check. This is your coworker. Y'all can kiki like you said, but I wish that you would have realized that before you gave her the opportunity to come to your house and basically be like, no, child. You can have a hissy fit if you want to, but I'm going to say what I need to say and I'm going to stand by my side, right? So anyway, Candace ends up saying to her, you know, I would be lying if I told you that we would be cool the way we were before. And Karen just says, okay. So it is what it is. I feel like Candace was trying to manipulate Karen into saying she was wrong. She wanted her to be like, okay, since Monique's not here anymore, since Monique's not a part of this story, go ahead and tell me that you side with me. And I don't know why she wanted that so bad. You've moved on. You've done the counseling. You're not putting sticky notes up anymore. I don't know why you needed Karen to validate that situation for you. Karen's action should have validated that enough. And like you said to Gizelle, you need to move on past the peas, girl. So let's move on to this next scene. So now, y'all, it is actually time for the pamper party. Pamper party. It's time for the pamper party. And they are celebrating their ray of sunshine. Ashley. I have a love-hate relationship with Ashley, y'all. It's like something about Ashley where I really, really like her, but I also don't have time for some of the bullshit that she be on. I really like Ashley. I'm sorry. I don't know how y'all feel, but the girl's messy. When it comes to Michael, she's a lot. But Ashley on her own, I actually do like. Actually, let me read these comments from y'all on Karen and Candace before I move on. Let's see. Pink Petals says Candace may really be mad about Karen going. That's it. Yes, you're right. I forgot about that last season. Remember at the reunion, y'all, Karen went to HR saying that Candace was going to be a danger or whatever, a danger to herself. And in that type of way, you could get somebody fired. So I think Karen was wrong as hell for that. If you was really her friend, you should have went to her husband and not HR. So that's a possibility, Pink Petals. Reality show Benjer says, agreed. Gizelle and Robyn were going against Candace until the fight happened. Then they flopped because they hate Monique more. Exactly. They decided, like, what's the best way to take her out? I'm going to use Candace to do it. So it's like, Candace, I hate it for you, but ain't none of these girls really your friends. I hate it for you. CC Freak says, now that they know where they stand, hopefully this will be the last time they talk about season 5. Say it again. Season 5 is done. Why are we still talking about it, y'all? P simply says Candace needs to move on. HFG, this is in reference to Ashley, says, I like Ashley for the show, but I would definitely not try to be her friend ever. Right. I think a lot of y'all like her. Yes, that's a good point, Carrie. Carrie says, or is it Carrie? It's probably Carrie. Karen been saying Monique was wrong. What else does Candace want? That is true. She did say Monique was wrong. What she wanted was Karen to take the stance of the rest of the group and go ahead and ice her out and say, we fully back you. But I don't understand what the value in that is if the people who were on your side were only on your side because it benefited them by seeing Monique fall. You get that? It's like, it's no benefit to me for you to tell me that you're on my side. I don't care. I know how I'm moving amongst the group. So we'll move on now. So now it's time for the pamper party. Like I said, for their ray of sunshine. And, you know, everybody shows up to the pamper party, including Escala. And I'm like, oh, Escala's there. They definitely introduced her on as if she was Robyn's assistant, but she's definitely not. So she shows up. And, you know, they talk back and forth. Gizelle is mean mugging Karen. And I'm just like, Gizelle, why are you trying to make something out of nothing? Everybody knows there were rumors about Jamal. You claim that you were not with Jamal. Why are you still coming for Karen? Get you a storyline. Get you a storyline. You have one, but you don't want to tell us what it is. So that's what's going on. The girls go off in pairs 2 by 2 to go get their services. And the group starts discussing Mia and Wendy. So Mia's talking to Karen. Y'all, I just have to go back to this face. I'm suffering from secondhand embarrassment. This was just, the read was a little bit disgusting. It just had try hard all over it. And one person who I felt like from the Housewives shows used to try too hard was Claudia Jordan. But this one tops Claudia Jordan. This was written, rehearsed in the mirror multiple times. You said it in the car on the way there. You looking at yourself like Issa Rae and Insecure, really trying to hype yourself up. You were arguing with yourself in the shower, thinking about how this was going to go down. And it didn't go down the way you thought it was going to go down because this was not it. So anyway, they start talking. And Mia says, you know, I said to her, you know, yeah, I just talk with my hands. So what are you going to do about it? And Wendy says, well, did y'all notice who spoke up? Candace spoke up. And Candace says to Mia, well, you probably don't want to say that because that could be seen as a threat. Who are you telling? Who you telling? Are you trying to say that? I'm not going to go back to season 5. But I'm like, okay, I guess she's learning something. So she's telling Mia, that can be seen as a threat. And then all of a sudden, they start discussing Gizelle. Gizelle can't even get a word in because Wendy won't pipe the fuck down. Wendy is going so hard. She's saying, you know what I do have? I do have time. So tick tock, Mia. Just the way she was bobbing around. Just the way that wig was bobbing on her shoulders. Down to the way she said, Mia. When did it ever get that real? When did it ever get that real, y'all? I think she thought that this was going to be an iconic moment. And like I told y'all, for the sake of branding, because what she probably would have done with that Home Essentials line, she probably would have came out with a clock. Tick tock, Mia. Like she literally thought that she had a Nene Leakes moment. And Wendy, that's what I'm saying. I was rooting for you. I don't know who put you into a level 2 Housewives off-season boot camp, but you need to get your money back. And this was not the way to read. I'm disappointed thoroughly. So anyway, Mia ends up saying, if you don't like the way I talk, you can just go over there. And the way Mia handled it, like Mia could have just sat there and looked at her like she was dumb. And Mia would have won that read fest easily. Gizelle and Robyn were sitting there laughing at your ass. And you were sitting there trying to go hard for Robyn. I mean, not for Robyn, for Gizelle. Mistake. So anyway, Mia and Karen end up going to their massage service. And Gizelle ends up telling Wendy, like, calm down. Why are you doing all that? Like, you're not giving her the opportunity to talk. And I was like, wow. Like, Gizelle's here for the nonsense. But I think Gizelle was giving Wendy that advice, like, girl, you just played yourself. Like, that's not, this is going to be aired, right? I feel like that's what Gizelle was saying when Gizelle was like, you got to give her a chance to speak, because that wasn't a read if that's what you thought. And I feel like that was just the advice that she was giving her. So Wendy ends up saying in her confessional, well, I was trying to be loyal, but I guess I know not who to be loyal to. You didn't lie. You didn't lie, sweetie. I hate it. So what else goes on? Ooh, my mind was just blown just by that read. So anyway, Robyn and Gizelle end up going to their service. All the ladies are back, and Askala actually brings up the fact that she heard that Karen drinks a lot. And I was like, damn, not Askala. This your first outing with the group. You were introduced by Robyn, and you're repeating what Robyn said about Karen drinking. Now, in the first episode, whenever Gizelle was like, oh, I'm going to tell your drunk truths and all this other stuff, I thought that Gizelle was just lying and making stuff up. But once we got the response from Karen, where Karen was like, yes, I call the women during my house parties. House party of one? Like, you get drunk on the phone often. You call your girls over and you start telling your truth. And I hate it, Karen. Karen has to keep up this grand dame facade. And I'm not even going to call it a full facade, because I really do feel like she has grand dame energy. But she has to be so strong. She doesn't want to tell people her stuff. And whenever she get a little bit of liquor in her, that's when she starts telling the truth. So I was like, damn, maybe Gizelle ain't lying about the drunk truth, because what else has she told y'all, like she told y'all back in that cabin last season? So I hate to see it. But I do wonder if Robyn's going to find out that Askala was repeating what she said, because that was weird. Like I said earlier in the video, 2 things you don't want to do when you come on the show. Number 1, you don't want to be the mediator in between some beef that you don't know nothing about or you wasn't there for. Number 2, you don't want to come with no tea about somebody else on the show. That is not smart. So I guess while you may have ruined your alliance with Robyn, you may have created one or made way for one with Karen. So we'll see, y'all. Now, the next thing that we get to see is Mia. And I'm going to show this picture one more time. Mia is talking about, her clit stuff. She's talking about her, her stripper days. Now, at the love party last episode, I knew Mia was a stripper. Well, let me not call her a stripper. She said she works at a gentleman's lounge. So let's call her a lady at the gentleman's lounge. I knew Mia was a lady at the gentleman's lounge whenever they were talking about how they met. And G said to Mia, yeah, you were a bartender, right? What else was she going to be at the strip club unless she had graduated to a gown wearing stripper, basically. So I was like, okay, it's definitely something going on there, something we don't know about. And she ends up telling us that, yes, I was a dancer or whatever, but the club I worked at, you wore long gowns and you just really talked to the men. And they were like, oh, like being an escort. And Mia said, yes, but I don't know anything about like that portion of it because I just used to talk to men. And, at first I thought she was lying. Low key, I still think she lying. And Candace had me dead when Candace said in her confessional, girl, you did something for to get with that old geezer because you ain't lying. Ain't no dude just sit up here going to a strip club to see women in gowns. If they are, y'all tell me which one it is. And if y'all are going to the strip club to see women in gowns, it's because y'all are wearing see-through gowns and they can probably see your silhouette move. And it's probably like really, really fancy stuff. They can probably see your silhouette in a see-through gown. They probably get off of the mystery. And if they pay a certain dollar amount, I'm sure they could probably get a little bit more. So it's not as classy based like what she's trying to say. Y'all ain't wearing no damn ball gown down to the strip club. But I was just going to say, shout out to Nikki Star again. I was watching her live. And one of the commenters said that they worked at the club where Mia was at. Not at the same time as her, but they said that it's definitely factual that the women don't strip. So we'll see, y'all. We'll see. Other than that, I think the episode ended. So let me go ahead and catch up on y'all's comments and get y'all's thoughts on tonight or yesterday's episode. Y'all killing me when it comes to Wendy. HFK. She really said TikTok like it was something. Mia, girl. No, that was not it. P says, and the best Oscar for reality over Hearst Reed goes to Wendy. KA says that Candace was being sarcastic. And this is in reference to Candace saying to Mia that by Mia saying, what are you going to do about it, could be seen as a threat. So maybe she was being sarcastic, but I was just like, CC Freak, on the other hand, says that Candace has learned her lessons. Learned her lesson. Pink Petal says it looked like Wendy was tweaking. It did. I was like, what is going on? Oh, gosh, she thought she was giving. She did. KA, Wendy was growing on me first episode and I'm trying to like her. I just want her to be authentic and calm down. Literally, but I don't think we're going to get that because I think that she's met with the team. They've studied the Real Housewives seasons. They told her you have to do X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third to have a successful season. And I feel like she's taken all the steps and all the one-liners to try to get there because she knows that there's no limit to a brand. While there may be a limit to being a professor or a political commentator, as far as being your own boss, selling your own goods, there's no limit. So that's where that newfound respect came from, I really believe. HFV says, I was LOLing at the idea of Karen drunk dialing. I want her to call me. Facts, girl, call me, okay? FaceTime me. I want to talk. What you and Ray got going on? It is what it is. MP, thank you for moderating the live. We got 44 likes and 115 people on the live. Something ain't adding up, okay? Be sure to hit the like button, y'all. Please do me right. Y'all can't just come in my house and eat my food and I say thank you. Okay? I feel y'all on that. Nana says Wendy was rehearsing those insults like Eminem at 8 Mile. Right. And then Seda says Wendy just seems so fake this season so far. I have to agree with you 110%. Those moments were cringe. And like I always have to throw up my clown emoji. I hate to say it, but Wendy definitely got this title. She had her clown mask on like she has been this season. And I hate to see it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like up the video. I know some of y'all just got here. Be sure to watch the playback, comment below. And again, y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter. We on the way to 7K. I don't know why I did this. 7K, y'all. So like and subscribe, and I will see y'all